like this. You cannot tell Janet from Jane. And you walk and pass your friends and no. You only know your friends if you came together from the house. Then you know that. Then you make sure that nobody will, in a crowd, nobody loses each other. You have to hold your hands because you can mix in the crowd easily and mix in and get missing and nobody will find you because, unless you take the face off and people will then look for you and see where you are. Because it's clear you've covered your face, you've covered the entire part of you. And not just not just your body and you left your face also. So some of the dressing are very extreme, and it's not like they're dressing just for 5 minutes of their time or 1 hour of their time. It's a whole day dressing that they have to put on, the whole day. Many of them, I realize, is not important. Maybe in the Jewish sense, sometimes when people were going to marry, they also use the same thing. They cover their face that the husband will not see the woman and all that. And there were all those negative. There was this disadvantages that I'm sure people have come to realize, and they've quit from it. Jacob ended up sleeping with a different girl instead of sleeping with the right woman because he never saw the face of the woman, the right woman that he chose, and he had to end up sleeping with another sister. All those things I know. What's the point is for them to do all that? But these old mentalities, old mental ideas. That time, those people who were there, they were not able to do computers and manufacture anything that is done today. So it is very much an old idea. We're built on that, but we don't keep that and continue on that. How can we move on? That same dress that the religious group of the Muslim or the Roman Catholic will present themselves can be seen by a designer and redo it again for it to be more modernized in certain ways that they will dress up like that and still will not be provocative. It will be still neat. There are people who are in the social world who dressed up and their dressing does not provoke anybody. You provoking is the fact that you're a woman, your nature, your body, your shape. If you dress, your shape is still there. You may cover yourself with whatever. Then maybe you have to start looking ugly and dress, in a nasty way. Then that will put people off. And don't even polish your face or don't even cover your whole eyes or everything. There is no point. A designer needs to go and look at people who dressed up like that and reinvent that dressing style and make it more modern for them to wear. Because I believe that there's no point in it. It also sometimes helped in carrying out these guys for terrorist approach to life, where people were using that to sort of achieve this terrorist attacks and all that. So it's if that is even the reason, then I don't know, it makes it even worse. But at the end of the day, personally, I don't really think it's something fashionable, and says it's our way of life. And if you want to preserve your way of life, you are in a different world. You want to build your own world in a different place. What's the point in doing that? There are places that are there designedly for you to live that life. Then maybe you would want to go there. There you can be free and live the life you want to live. That is probably what those of other secular world will suggest, because I don't see you to communicate with you. I don't see you to relate with you. I don't see you to smile with you. I spend my life up and down looking at you, and you say no. And most of them, it's not unless they are doing that because they are married or they have boyfriends. They just do it for the fun of it because it's our culture. People are abusing certain things. You are in a society. For Christ's sake, why would you have to treat other people, make other people feel so terrible or bad by your way of dress? It's not the best thing. And you may be a very nice person in terms of character and manner and mannerism and all that, but your dressing has hidden all that and has characterized you in a different form of which you are not. It has made you, pictured you, and deplete you as somebody different from who you truly are. The smile of a person can make a difference sometimes. You've covered your smiles, and your eyes is even there, and your eyes even cannot function in a way which will make people become friendly to you. How do you intend even to convert people to your religion if you sort of put yourself in that state? If a Roman sister also dressed up all over, at the end of the day, they keep theirs in their monastery. So I wouldn't say much about that. A few sisters come out, you see them walk whichever way, but they're always in a monastery, seriously dressed. They have their own place. They spend most of their time. And all the Romans are not necessarily, the Roman congregation are not necessarily supposed to dress up unless they go and they become a nun. That's, they have to stay in the confines of the monastery, in the church somewhere. They can't just be moving about dressed up like that. So if you choose, if a mosque or Islamic people choose that, it shouldn't be an openly dressed approach where they openly approach life in that. They can be in the mosque dressed up like that. That is before Allah. That is great. That Allah, mostly if Allah appreciate that, then Allah will appreciate it more if they're doing it in front of Him. In the mosque, where the men there are also there to pray to Allah, so they won't be provoked, or they won't be enticed, or they will not, make them, it won't jiggle them. Their hormones will not be jiggled. That is the idea. So that if you dress like that and you are in the mosque, and a man also comes, is there with you in the mosque, why would you feel enticed? Because your dressing is quite all covered, So there, that man also is not distracted from his worship. He is there to worship Allah, so he won't be distracted from you, from whatever, from your, in the sense that your body will not distract her, your beautiful sense of body will not, attract him, so that he will, stay focused in his prayers. That is what I think the idea is really more sensible to be seen or to be considered. So in the mosque or in a church, you dressed up like that before Allah. That's a form of making a more sincere approach to God, Jehovah, or Allah. Men will not be distracted if you are dressed, like the way I just saw the woman I saw, cover all your eyes and then cover all the body, so everybody will be staying there, and the man doesn't see anything that will make him begin to think about a woman. So he'll be thinking and focusing about God more. But you are out there in the world. You are there with me. That place, the only place you are supposed to feel free and live life as the will of Allah and the will of Jehovah wants you to live life. And you are still looking like that, worried about distracting me. You are not distracting me out there in the world. You're not distracting me. In fact, you have to distract me out there in the world. I have to look at you and see that you and I are soulmate, or you and I can connect in certain ways, because it is a natural giving life that we're supposed to live. Me and you, a male and female, to be together in no matter what background you may have. So you have to put yourself into that state. You have to freely live your life. When you go out of the monastery, you are now out of the state of meditation or communication with God. Now God wants you to go out there now, feel free and mingle with the rest of people and enjoy life. And when the time comes for you to come in again for prayers, you dress and then you go and then you do your prayers and you come out. But they don't see it that way. They're just abusing the idea. And they are out there all the time, dressed up like some, mask, or someone dressed in a state like, I don't know. Anyway, probably people might think I'm picking on them. Yes, I'm picking on them because they are good people. They are nice people. They are human beings just like me. I feel for them like they feel for me. It's a good suggestion for society to accept and go along with. It is not trying to be a law. It's suggestions that make you feel free and somehow makes me also feel comfortable. Not living fearing or thinking that, who is this person? Because I'll be wondering, is he a human being? Is it the human being in there, or is this who is this person? You're all covered. I can see you. I don't know who you are. You could even be my friend or somebody I know. And there you are, all covered. And sometimes, as she was sitting there, dressed like that, and she was using her mobile phone, the covering lid that leads in the eye is right falling on the eyelid there. And so sometimes it gets to her eyes, and she can't clearly see the mobile phone. And she has to stretch her eyes or pull it a little bit to be able to look. It is distracting your eyes. in case there's a car, you're walking on the street and there's a car coming on